My name is Noel. I attended NAISNY for 2 years, for year 8 and for year 9. So my time in upper school, especially since I joined NAISNY so late, it was especially interesting to have like this higher level of education here than what I was typically experiencing in my American school I went to before. So this is an international school, has a new teaching standard, new ways of teaching things, and more course content like that. So I found that it was very quite helpful for me to take these courses here in NAISNY that would especially prepare me for high school. I found uh, one of the greatest examples of this is, say, the course content. We find it to be very similar since NAISNY has such like a high standard like that. For the example of when we read and analyzed Macbeth in English class, I always remember that. That was quite the challenging subject, but we all got something out of that. And then when we started reading Shakespeare plays when I got to high school, we actually read Macbeth at once, but I was already predisposed to be studying things like this because of what they expose us to here. Yeah, I think one of the best things about NAISNY is how individually we could be supported by our teachers. Since we're not the biggest school in the country, we're somewhat more of a more tight knit community than some other place with like hundreds of students. So here it feels like there's a better connection between you and your teachers, and there's generally more time you have to be able to talk to them, even with your smaller class size. And there's more ways to connect to that and connect to what you need. So there's always a good way to find your teachers, a good way to get support. That continues in high school too. At least where I go, it's a big standard of us to be able to talk to our teachers and get support anytime we need, which is very similar to what we have in NAISNY. I feel like the focus we somewhat have on independent work here at NAISNY is a good way to prepare yourself for what you're going to have more in high school with individualized projects like that, or even group projects, anything with like a setting that you're kind of an undertaking of your own. Some examples would be the MIT collaborations we have sometimes for science. Those are mostly like student group projects that you can work on your own. There's going to be similar things like that in high school, especially when you have to run experiments on your own and prepare for things like that. This is a thing like I remember when we were writing some papers studying history concepts at IMYC. That is something you're going to get a lot more of those in high school when you have research papers. I very recently, my final project for history was a research paper about one of the a movement in American history and if it was successful or not successful. And I got some of my study skills to be able to amass that information and work on that on my own, doing things like this in NAISNY. So a lot of what I was talking about with how you get individualized projects in NAISNY, that goes into one of the subjects I'm personally quite interested in being computer science. I had some skills on ask here with computer learning, such as when I remember when we were learning how to 3D model things in science class one time for an MIT project. That kind of got me accustomed to more computer thinking and be able to logically work your way through something like that. And I think that amassing of skill right there, that helped me to undertake more things that I'm taking right now in computer science. And I'm even, for my school in junior year, you can choose an elective if you want. It's either computer science or an art. I think I want to move to the next stage of computer science, which I think will be more challenging, but I think I could personally achieve that because of kind of my passion for the subject and what I learned here. So being back at NAISNY and being able to support the students that were in the same position as me is quite interesting, which I've found being able to impart the knowledge that I've acquired here and like that I found will especially helpful for me in my high school career to be able to get these children here already disposed to this knowledge and like be able to support them the way I think I was supported back when I was here. I think that's maybe one of the most important things I've done throughout my high school career already. Since like I've been in this exact position, I know how challenging it can be. But I've already given a couple of talks, to the general upper school crowd about what it's going to be like in high school and what are the best things to start now. So I think it's been a very helpful experience both for me and for the kids here that I'm able to come back here and impart the knowledge that I've gained now, just so they're able to be supported the same way I was.